Hi, my name is Quanesia and welcome to my book corner where I talk to you about books or series that I recently read. This book is called The Inferno by M.K. Michelle and I just started it. So first of all, I'm not quite sure if I paid attention if the main character is a male or a female. I'm not quite sure. However, from what I've gathered, because I'm only 2% in, something traumatic must have happened to said person, because said person ended up being found by the people that they work with, and they don't remember anything that happened before they were found. However, they just knew that they felt like they was tired of it all and was ready to end it all, period. Now they work in a club, and the club is for like the higher ups, I'm guessing. And in this club, you know, you could get your rocks off how you want to get your rocks off. However, they have a certain club for enforcers, and those enforcers decided to come to this club instead of the other club, and they had took one of the, I want to say, security people in a room and was trying to do something crazy. And so she, you know, she's very powerful, you know, so she started lighting bitches on fire, okay, from the inside out. That's what it's giving. Let me not say she, because it's probably not she, it's probably is a he. Until I find out if it's a he or a she, I'm gonna come back and let y'all know. But that's how it's going right now. Okay, all right, bye. Okay, so boom, the enforcers that came on over. If you hear something in the backyard, it's my air purifier. My cat just took a fat shit and it smells disgusting. But anyways, and I got like a center thing on top of the air purifier, and it pushes it out real quick so that it takes all that stink smell and gets it the fuck up out of here. But anyways, long fucking story short, enough about my cat shit. The enforcers that came on over to her club, it is a girl named Jasmine, weren't real enforcers. However, the real enforcers came about and they started asking her questions like, bitch, you more powerful than you supposed to, and you holding back, you not giving your full what the fuck is going on here. I have a feeling these men's is her mates. But anyways, they come the next night to her job, right? Boom. And they're like, okay, bitch, do you got a mark? And she's like, well, I do have a mark, it's on my back. And they're like, okay, let me see it. So she takes down her little dress, showed them her back, and it covers her entire back. And they was like, no, bitch. It's 3 of them, by the way. One name is Sai, one name is Julian, and I forgot what Dark Eye's name is. But anyways, they looked at her back and said, oh, bitch, this is not a mark. I don't know what the fuck this is, but I ain't ever seen no shit like this, and this ain't no fucking mark, bitch. And she's like, well, what you talking about? What it look like? And he said, it look different. I ain't seen nothing like that. And she's like, well, bitch, you scaring me. What's going on? So he said, I'm gonna try to take this off. Okay, this look like an ancient one. I'm gonna try to take it off. So she's like, okay, is it gonna hurt? And he like, probably not. You know, I'm gonna try though, right? Boom. So he's trying to take it off. Boom, boom, boom. Whilst he takes it off, he awakens another part of her power she didn't even know she had. And that power starts. Julian, I think, is a vampire. It attracts to him, right? So he's on her ass like white on rice. And she's like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, what's going on? Tucks hair behind ear. And she's in confuzzlement, right? But anyways, long story short, now that new power is out, bitch, she passes out, okay? Because now her body is in overdrive, trying to accommodate a new power, okay? Or a new part of her power, okay? And so, you know, they asked her before she passed out, before they even tried to figure out the mark situation, where she came from. And she said, baby, I don't remember anything before I was found 5 years ago by the person who owns these clubs. And they like, okay, boom. Anyways, after she passes out, she's in the room, right? She finally gets a hold to, she wakes up and she finally gets a hold to one of her coworkers, and they're like, bitch, you've been passed out for 2 days and we couldn't get in contact with you. And she's like, 2 days, bitch, it's only been a couple of hours. Like, I just literally passed out. And they was like, no, girl, you've been passed out for 2 days. And they put up some type of protection so that we can't get in, right? So she wakes up and she sees Sai, okay? And Sai is one of the enforcers, okay? She sees Sai and she's like, why the fuck you got a barrier? And he's like, the barrier is to keep them out, their barrier that they put up, and then he was like, well, your coworkers, your family, quote unquote, put up a barrier before I put up a barrier, and my barrier is to keep Julian from getting in here, because your power has been calling for Julian, and Julian is about to go off his own fucking rocker. Okay, bitch, he's about to go off his rocker. He can't get over the smell of your blood. Okay, you basically virgin married to him, bitch. And she's like, okay, that's crazy, but like, how do I put it back? And he's like, well, we can't put it back. Like, that's not what's supposed to happen. It's not to be supposed to be put back. You supposed to let it out, bitch. You supposed to let it go. Okay, frozen, bitch. And she's like, no, like, my family said I have to suppress it. And he said, that's why you struggling. It's because you listen to these motherfuckers that don't got power like you, and they trying to suppress you, bitch. So she's like, no, my family wouldn't do that. He's like, well, they didn't tell you that they put up a barrier before we did, and the barrier is to keep your ass in. Why they trying to keep you in? It's because they noticed that you got a new power, and they scared of what the fuck you could do. And she's like, no, that's my family. They wouldn't do that shit to me. And he's like, well, maybe, bitch, you don't know your family, period. And so she's like, can you take the barrier down? And he's like, sure, but don't say I didn't tell you so, bitch. Once Julian coming for that Gucci cat, bitch, don't say nothing. So she's like, no, take that barrier down, right? Boom. So then her little family starts coming in, and they're crying and carrying on. And that's where I'm at. And I'll come back to you when I get to another good part. Okay, bye. Okay, so I'm thinking that the 3 enforcers are her mates, because they slowly but surely, like, her powers are pushing them to the brink of going crazy, okay? And now her friend, Sai, one of the forces told her basically, you know, you horny as fuck right now because of me, and you can't touch yourself just like you can't touch me, just like I can't touch myself, and well, shit like that, right? So she's like, okay, that's crazy. So even if she tries to masturbate, she is not lifting, baby. She's horny as hell. So her friend is like, girl, we have a list of people that want to hunt for you, so how about you find somebody, you know, pick one of them. And she's like, I know, you can pick the queen's head guard. And she's like, we only talk like once a year. Like, what are you talking about? She's like, exactly. Fuck him and send him on his way. Like, that's, but them 3 is gonna find out she trying to do something nasty and going to go off the rails. They're gonna go fucking off on her and the motherfucker she's punching on. And then probably Alexis for even suggesting it. Alexis is the friend, her coworker. Yeah. Okay, so boom, the fake queen is having a birthday party at the club, right? And Hugo is her guard, right? And so she decides to take Alexis' advice and, you know, try to get some dick, okay? But he is a little bit too excited, and he's giving creepo, okay? So soon as she's about to be like, you know, let's meet up later, the 3 enforcers show up, and then they see Hugo with his hands on her, and they're like, they looking at her, they looking at his hand, they looking at her, they looking at his hand, like, do I go off or do I not? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, long fucking story short, they do a pissing contest and they win. Okay, Hugo runs off, right? The queen knows Jasmine, so the queen's like, hey girl, let's go over here, let's go for a little stroll, let's walk, right? The queen's like, how the fuck do you know these enforcers? And she's like, girl, tell me about it. I don't know, they just happen upon me, bitch. I don't know. So she asked the queen basically if she could go hide in the fade realm, and the queen's like, yeah girl, come on along, right? So then I forgot which one was it. One of them was like, okay, you talk to the queen, yada yada yada, and she's like, well, I'm gonna go visit the queen in the fade realm. And he said, if you step one motherfucking finger into that portal over there to the fucking fade realm, bitch, I'm killing the queen and every fucking body else that's around you. So play with somebody, but don't play with me, ho. And she's like, you can't do that, you can't take out the queen. And he's like, try me, bitch. So now she knows she can't go. So boom, somebody done blows up the damn club, and people get hurt and carrying on. And she had to tell her friends to leave. Meanwhile, they're coming after her and they're coming after the queen. Anyways, they blow up, they're looking for her and carrying on, and she tells them to leave so that, you know, she can get rid of the motherfuckers that she needs to get rid of. And she knew she was gonna die, or she thought she was gonna die. The enforcers show back up, okay? And the queen's like, oh, like, let's go, let's get out of here. She opens up portals. She done throws the queen to the portal back to her house. Her realm was like, bitch, save yourself, okay? I got me, save you. Anyways, don't fucking story short, she's getting a little bit nervous because, you know, she's letting her powers out full realm. She's letting them out, right? She then collapses. You know, she almost definitely killed herself by using all of her power. I feel like power should be infinite. If we gonna give a character a power, shouldn't it be infinite? Like, there shouldn't ever be like a threshold to when you need to stop for a power. I feel like it should be infinite. It should go on and on and on and on and on. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, that's where I'm at now. Yeah. I feel like I just want her to get it on with it and figure out that them 3 men's is hers. You know, I feel like she gets it. Like, she doesn't like it, but it's obvious. You get what I'm saying? Like, she's trying to be in denial, but I mean, how long can you be in denial, bitch? For real. Okay. So I'm halfway through the book. So after the whole blowing up edge of Jasmine's job, basically, and home, she ends up waking up, I guess it's a hotel or apartment or whatever the fuck, with the 3 enforcers, and one of them is a vampire. He gave her his blood, and now she could hear all of them inside of her head. She could talk to them telepathically, and she hates that shit, but that's neither here nor there. Honestly and truthfully, I'm getting to a point where it's just like, can you just bend over and take some dick already? Because at this point, you have to, I mean, you in the trenches of denial at this point. You have to come to the conclusion that these are your men. Okay? And you still fighting it, child. You still fighting it. And I get it, because they threatened to kill you 2 minutes ago. And you're kind of like, nah, these niggas are trying to kill me. Ain't no way. They are for me. Also, let's talk about old boy that's finna be the alpha and basically told her, you can't be my Luna, so bitch, fuck you. Basically, that's what I got from what he said. And it's kind of like, how could you furry, flea-having bastard? How could you sit there and basically tell me you can't fuck with me no more because you finna be an alpha and you need a Luna? I'm not good enough for you? Fuck you, basically. And now she done went on over to the council, and she's seen another empath there because she's an empath. And I feel like she's more than an empath though. Baby, you got way more going on than just a little old empath girl. And anyways, they start threatening her friends, and bitch, she unleashed her powers and baby told everybody to go to sleep. Everybody went night night. When I say everybody, I mean everybody went night night. Okay, 100 radius, 100-degree radius from the motherfucking council office, whatever. Everybody went night night. Anyways, then the main guy, he had like moon color eyes, whatever. Okay, she's attracted to that motherfucker. It's also like she's in denial that she be attracted to people. Like, how? But anyway, she is attracted to him. She tries to run away with her friends, and she finds out he's the friend to Julie. I mean, he's a brother to Julian, and he basically told her, in her mind, telepathically, his name. You got another man? That's 4 people now, girl. I mean, shit, you ain't need that wolf no more. Fuck him. Now you got 4 niggas after you, and they all got more power. They're all the big ones, not the little ones, period. I fucks with it. I mean, how long do you think it would take for you to spread them legs wide open? Do a split on that dick. How long do you think it would take you if you was in a situation like this? Like, you got powers, right? You wake up, amnesia on 10. You got a big ass mark on your back. Don't know how it got there, right? And all you know is that you are supposed to be scared of the beings called enforcers because they're very powerful. They are very, very powerful, right? Right. Well, 3 of them say basically your power called out to them. That's the only way they knew to come into your establishment, okay, your work. And then they keep coming back and they keep making it seem like they gonna off you, or they trying to make a decision if they want to off you or if they want you to live, right? Okay. And then they come to save you when your place of work ends up getting blown to smithereens, and they're coming to make sure you're okay. And then they come in, they take you, right? They take you, and then they give you some of their blood to help make sure you're okay, and they can talk to you telepathically. Would you say, okay, this is my man, here's the puss? Or would you be like Jasmine and just be like, get out of my head, I don't want anything to do with you? And why do you have such an aversion to not want to be with these men? Like, I understand, you know, they wasn't the nicest to you when you first met them, for real. Honestly and truthfully, this is what I want to say. The next time I read a book about a very powerful woman, I want her to be all powerful, all powerful. Okay, I want her to be able to withstand the compulsion of the most powerful known. Okay, and then when he come in, he try to tell her, sit your ass down and speak when I tell you to speak. She could just back that shit out her way like it's nobody motherfucking business. Like, can't not award stop her or barrier stop her from getting to where the fuck she want to get to. You feel me? Like, she can handle her own, and not near a nigga can stop her or make her seem like she gotta do what the fuck he said for her to do. And I think she is very, very powerful. She just doesn't know how powerful she is, because some shit probably went down, right? In that council, I feel like the council people did that. She was getting a little bit too powerful, so they did what they needed to do, erase her memory and hoop that bitch out on the other side of the barrier, and she can't get back in. They erase her memory so she can't remember just how powerful she is. I feel like that's what it is. Anyways, let me finish it, y'all. I just hope she really do bust it open for a real nigga in like 2.5 seconds, because if I read any more sexual tension, it's going to blow mine. Give it up, girl. Sometimes when people write female main characters with powers and yada yada yada, and she has like 17,000 maids, for some reason they go down a delusional route, and she's on the delusional route. I don't understand why she's not really piecing shit together, or she's being delusional. It's one of the two. Okay? And you know you want to hunch on these men on these men. You know you want to hunch on them, but you keep holding yourself back. Oh no. You don't understand why your power doesn't really try to beat their ass like they do everybody else. And it's just like, girl, just give in at this point. You don't want them to touch you. You get mad at them all of a sudden. Like, girl, shut up already. We're 75% in the book, and it's just like, girl, at this point, open them legs and shut the fuck up. Okay, that's where I'm at this point in the book. Open the legs and shut the fuck up, so y'all can go ahead and find that other motherfucker that put that shit on you, so that you now got amnesia and don't remember the motherfuckers, and then they also don't remember you. shouldn't you be wondering about that? You so busy trying to stop your feelings that you're not even thinking about the right thing, and you over here upset that they trying to protect you and keep you in the house so you don't get taken again, because old girl was taken. Okay, so this is what happened, because I don't think I talked about this part. Miss Girl, right? She wakes up, she's in Kane's house. Kane is dark eyes, okay, and his brother is Ezekiel. Ezekiel is on the count, is in the council, right? And long fucking story short, she overhears, like, she goes in there and then she overhears them talking about, well, she basically feels like they was gonna off her anyway, so she decides to jump out the fucking window after she done got healed up, okay? Because let me go back, because I don't think I told you about this. So this is insane. Okay, boom. So she decides, okay, I'm just gonna jump out the window and just off myself, right? But that doesn't happen. She jumps out the window and she's thinking she's gonna get the fuck, but that doesn't happen. She ends up getting stopped by basically the cops over there, right? Not the enforcers, but the people under them. And she's like, you know, can you get me the fuck from away from here, like far from away from here? So some people was finna help her, and then one of them was like, this is the under the protection of one of the other council members who ain't shit, right? Who they think put that mark on her back, right? So she ends up getting captured and taken to a prison, right? In the prison, she wakes up and she realizes that she can't hear the other guys and she cannot feel her powers, right? And then she looks across from her and sees a little girl in there. Then the cops came in, and the COs of the basically the COs of the prison basically went over to that little girl and was trying to do some unsavory things. And so Miss Girl was like, oh hell no, right? So one of them came into her cell and was like, oh, you will look better on your knees. And then her power came back to her out of nowhere, and she went ham and she basically told him to off himself. And then the other cop that was in the little girl cell, she had him come over and somewhat off themselves, right? So she goes to the little girl and she's like, how the fuck we get out of here? The little girl doesn't talk, but she shows her how to get out, right? So then they get to this big metal door and she's like, oh shit, so how we open the metal door? And she asks the little girl, do I need his hand? And she looks at her like, girl, I don't know, I never, like, get the fuck out of here. So she goes back, chops off one of the guards' hands and goes to the metal door, right? Chops off the hand, goes to the metal door. The metal door sends a alert, and the whole prison shuts down, right? The metal door opens and some other CEOs come in, but they're like geared up, right? And then they attack her. They end up putting something in her throat, and she doesn't feel her powers anymore, right? Well, the enforcers end up finding the prison which she was at, because that motherfucker that was on the council, he's now on the run, right? So this prison is on one of his properties or something like that, okay? So she gets saved by the enforcers, Ezekiel, okay? And they take her back to their place, right? So they're back in their place, and now she can hear Ezekiel, right? She can hear Cain, she can hear Ezekiel, she can hear Sai, and she can hear Julian, okay? So now it's 4 men that she can hear, and she's attracted to all 4 of them, right? But she's fighting that attraction because she still in her mind thinks they're gonna offer her, but they're not offering her, right? So they tell her, you know, you're under our protection, so you have to stay in this house. You cannot leave because they're going around the city basically doing shit so they're looking for you basically. And she's like, okay, that's not a surprise to me, but it's like, girl, stay the fuck in the house because your powers didn't help you before, they're not gonna help you now. So anyways, when when Cain looked at her back, I think it was Cain or Julian, one of them motherfuckers, or Ezekiel, it was Ezekiel, one of them looked at her back and saw that she had the mark, and he looked at the mark and he saw, right, that this happened before she jumped out the window. So anyways, he saw that he knew her and that she was being taken away by the cops, right? That other council members, cops, right? And he was being dragged away, right? And something happened, right? And he didn't know what was going on, but he just knew that she was being bloodied and being taken away from him, right? And she was like, holy shit, my people found me bloodied on the other side of the barrier, right? Bloodied and broken, and you're looking a fool, right? Not looking a fool, looking a mess. And so he's like, I'm gonna kill everybody that I know. So in her mind, he thought that she was going to kill him, but kill her. But in reality, he's talking about killing everybody that did what they did to her and him, right? So, and again, she's thinking she's gonna get off, so she decides to jump out the window, and then all of that happened. Now she back to here, and now she's still fighting her feelings for these people. And it's like, again, girl, spread them legs. I'm tired, okay? Like, I want to read her getting taken down so bad, okay? It's all just cute petting and all that shit. I don't give a fuck about that, okay? Please, I want to see some names. Like, I want to see a third leg being taken out, okay? I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. That's just what I was expecting, okay? But anyways, so she gets mad at everything, and it's like, you get mad at the wrong things at the wrong time, bitch. Come on. But that's what's going on in the book. That the other councilman, they need to find his ass, because they don't know how this got put on her, why it got put on her. I have a feeling that together she was with Ezekiel, and she knew about her power. She was very powerful, and that other council, she probably was also on the council too, or was going to be at the council, and that other nigga wanted to take over her spot or take it from her. So he decided that he was going to ambush her, beat her ass, and put something on her, so where her magic would be subdued, and she wouldn't even know how powerful she is or where the fuck she came from, even if her name was fucking Jasmine, okay? And then Ezekiel and Cain was basically like, listen, you say you trust your family, the motherfuckers that you was working with. However, they didn't even tell you that you was placed outside the barrier and no officers were in sight. Ain't that suspicious to you? And then they wanted you to not use your power at all. They wanted you to suppress your power. Ain't that suspicious to you? And wouldn't tell you anything else. Told you they were looking for your people. Never did that. Never looked to see if you had family still alive, bitch. They put your ass up on the 7th floor and had you working like a whore, and you call these people family. Think again, bitch. And she's like, no, that's my family. Your family? They got some fucking questions they need to answer. Damn. And it's just like, everybody, you can't trust nobody right now. And y'all, let me finish this book. Okay. At Ezekiel's job at the council, she ends up meeting Casey. Casey helped heal her after she had came back from being rescued at the prison. Anyways, she sees Casey again at the council, and Casey's like, hey, by the way, I help heal all types of animals, right? However, Casey then comes out and says she's a necromancer and she doesn't like to be touched. She tells her there's a dragon there and she just really needs help with the dragon. So Jasmine says she's really good with animals, so she'll help her, right? So they go and they see the dragon, right? And she looks at the dragon. Jasmine looks at the dragon, and basically the dragon is like, he's hungry and he's angry and all this and that, but he only wants to be fed from Casey. So long story short, Jasmine has to go through Ezekiel to get the permission to allow Casey and her to go into the cage, basically, to feed the dragon, right? And so they end up going through a whole roundabout just for them to go in there. Anyways, come to find out, the dragon was actually a shifter, and the shifter was Casey's mate. And I'm guessing Casey had a bomb before and it didn't go so well, so she was all going through it, right? And she's like, how can Casey be this shifter's mate when she's not a shifter herself? And then it dawns on her. Oh, and then Casey is like rocking back and forth, like, oh, we're bonded. I can hear him in my head. And so Jasmine's like, how the fuck can that be? Because, you're not a shifter. And then it clicks in her head that she can also hear all them motherfuckers in her head. She could communicate with all of them. So she's like, so when was y'all gonna tell me that we was actually mated and that we were bonded? And now, instead of getting answers from them, she decides to leave them and leave outside of the realm and go with Casey because she's not safe. And please, and this is how it ended. So not only did she not hunch in this book, okay, but she don't listen, and she got amnesia. You left all the people you're bonded behind, so because you mad. So that's the end of the book. She's back in Casey's house, and her and Casey looking at each other, basically. And that's the end of the book. It's just, I need me a book where the female main character has powers. She's very powerful. She's the most powerful one of them all, bitch. She finds out she has power. Matter of fact, I need 2 different books. The one that she is the most powerful and she knows how to use it, but she also knows how to listen in the right times. Not saying that she needs to be controlled and she needs to be submit. No. I mean, she needs to take into consideration that she is not Obi-Wan Kenobi, okay? She does not know all, and she's not the wise one, okay? It is okay to listen to other people and maybe not do dumb shit, okay? You know what I'm saying? That's one, okay? She holds her own. She's a bad bitch, okay? Period, okay? And she might got her a couple of men or so, and she gets with them, and she knows that they are her men, and she's finna bust it open for a real one. Do you understand me? That's book number 1. Book number 2 is, I need the female main character to be the most powerful, but she doesn't know, and then she learns how to use her power, but she ain't sitting here fighting the people who can help her and teach her how to use said power. She ain't over here talking about, I hate you, I can't stand you. And if the people that's helping her use her power happen to be her men, please don't make it a drawn out situation where she's scared to suck dick, okay? I'm just saying, all right? Please and thank you. And preferably people of age. When I say of age, I mean in their 20s. I don't want to hear nothing about no 17-year-old. Thank you. Anyways, if y'all read this book before, comment down below. I feel like there's going to be a second book to this, and I mean, it has to be. It has to be, right? Because it's no way it's just this book. It like, there's too much going on still that wasn't solved, so it has to be a second book coming. I don't know when. I think this book just came out. Not sure. Did I enjoy the book overall? I did. I like my book to have smut in it, okay? I like my book to have nasty shit in it, like, yeah. So let me out. That's why I like to be in my books, okay? And this book wasn't given that. I hope she gets her memory back. Like, I hope the second book, like, she gets her full memory back and she really understands where the fuck she came from. Because I feel like in this book, it gave a glimpse of where she came from. Like, she at one point in time could basically be like a science project, you know how they do in these books, science project. She got all these powers, and that motherfucker that's on the run was in charge of this science project situation, and it's probably more like her out there. You know what I'm saying? And I think Ezekiel and Cain both probably were in the same institution as she was in, you know, they probably were also science projects. That's what it's giving. Anyway, if you've read this book, oh, and the author is M.K. Michelle, by the way. If you read this book before, comment down below, tell me what you think of it, okay? She was getting on my nerves. I'm not even gonna hold you. I hope she gets some real answers from her family in the second book as well, because what's really good, who are these people? Because these people don't seem like they're strangers to her. Like, they know exactly who she is. They're just not trying to tell her. Maybe they're trying to protect her from that man. You feel me? The councilman on the run. I think they're trying to protect her from him, but somehow, some way, she still gets led back to him, and she's gonna find out. Anyways, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this review. It wasn't very long because it's only one book. Why am I losing my voice? I don't know. But I hope y'all enjoyed it. If y'all could comment, like, subscribe, I would appreciate it. Okay, bye.